welcome to the Faculty of Science Information Session. Welcome to our Winter Open House Day. Thank you for braving the snow to come and join us, and thank you to those who are online for joining us virtually. So we're going to tell you a little bit very quickly about the program, some of the programs in the Faculty of Science, and then we have a number of representatives from the departments and programs, faculty and students, who will tell you who they are, introduce themselves, tell you a fun fact about their experiences, something they love about Mount. And then we're going to open it up so that we can address any questions you might have and give you some other information that you might want to know about. So I am Dr. Jennifer Tomes. I am the Dean of Science and Graduate Studies. I'm also a member of the Psychology Department. Okay, there we go. We have a whole array of degrees and programs that you can get under the umbrella of a Bachelor of Science degree here at Mount Allison. So we have aviation, biology, biochemistry, biopsychology, chemistry, cognitive science, computer science, data science as a minor, environmental science, mathematics, physics, psychology. We have some combined programs with computer science. So computer science with another discipline. And so there's a wide array of things that you can do and take here in the Faculty of Science at Mount Allison. People aren't always sure what the terms mean. So I'm going to briefly tell you about majors, honors, and minors. Your major is the main area that you want to study. So if you're interested in being a biologist, you're probably going to major in biology. If you are interested in clinical psych, you're probably going to major in psychology. If you're interested in chemistry, you're probably going to major in chemistry. You get the idea here. This will be the main area of focus that you will take sort of the majority of your classes, or at least half of your classes in, that will contribute towards your degree. If you're really interested in that area and you want to do research, or you might want to go on to graduate program or some other training, you may also opt to do an honors in that area, which is an extra intensive program where you get to work one-on-one with a faculty member, typically on a research project of interest to you. And so it's just an extra in-depth specialized way for you to get more experience in that area that you're really, really interested in. Don't worry if you don't know what your major might be. That's fine. You don't need to decide now. You can come, enroll in the BSc degree, take your first year, take a few courses in various disciplines, and figure out which one sparks your passion. Which one is the thing that you think you will love doing. And so you can always decide later what your major might be, and if you want to do an honors or not. You will also at some point have to decide what your minor is. Your minor can be anything that is of interest to you, any of the other areas or disciplines, programs that we offer here at Mount A. And it's just a nice way to pair an extra bit with that main area of focus that you're interested in. Often people in the Bachelor of Science will do a minor in another area in science. So a biology major may decide to do a psychology minor or a chemistry minor because they think that that will help them in a future career. You'll get an extra bit of knowledge or experience that will help them in their future career. And you can do that. You can pair your minor in a way that sort of feeds into your career goals. But your minor can also be an area that is just of special interest to you. So maybe you want to do biology, but you're also really interested in, drama or music. And so you can sometimes pair the minor to follow those interests as well. And it's always surprising how much that minor can feed into those future career goals as well. There are often hidden connections that you might not think. How could that certainly help? So from psychology, drama is one of the minors that a number of our psych majors have gone on to do. And if you're interested in clinical psychology, the idea of presenting and how you communicate to others can be a real benefit. So there's often some hidden connections that may not be obvious between your major and your minor. Again, if you don't know what your minor is going to be, no worries. You've got lots of time to come and explore and decide what's going to suit you best. If you're interested in several areas, maybe you can't decide between chemistry and biology and psychology, you could come and do a BSc with 3 minors in those areas and sort of design a degree that suits your own particular interest. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can come here and do, what you can choose to study and experience. So what can you do with a BSc from Mount Allison? A lot. You can do a lot. We have students, graduates who've gone on to a whole variety of careers. So from our aviation program, we have commercial pilots. We have a wide range of medical professionals, doctors, dentists, nurses, physiotherapists, pharmacists, respiratory therapists. We have people who've gone on to become researchers or environmental consultants, food inspection agents, policy analysts. The list goes on and on and on. There's a diversity of careers that you can prepare for here starting here at Mount Allison. Again, if you're not sure what you want to do, that's fine. You don't have to decide now. We have a number of advisors, career advisors, some of our academic advisors, some of the departmental academic advisors who can tell you what some of the potential career paths are associated with different disciplines and help you figure out what some of those possibilities are. So there's lots of support for planning your future. Many people want to know what first year will look like. Normally, people will take 5 courses per term. Often it will be 3 to 5 science courses. Others will be electives or distribution courses. We have a common science core we encourage people to get in their first year. Most of our science courses have a 3-hour lecture and then a lab component to them that is somewhere between 1.5 hours and 3 hours of lab per week. Generally, our classes are smaller than at other institutions, but there are some large science classes. The Faculty of Science is one of them, is the more popular faculty at Mount Allison. We have a lot of interest, a lot of students come here. So some of our classes are bigger. We are in the biggest classroom that we have. This classroom seats 205 people, and this is often used for things like introductory psychology. So this is as big as it gets here. As you progress up in years through 2nd and 3rd and 4th year, class size gets much smaller. And as I said, most of our classes have a lab, or many of our science classes have a lab associated with them. And those labs are generally smaller in size as well. So there's more of a hands-on, intimate experience there. If you're not sure what you want to take in your first year, again, you don't need to worry too much about that. We have first year academic advisors who will help you plan your first year. If you think you want to be a psych major, you need to take intro psych. If you think you want to be a bio major, you need to take biology and so on. But there are people who will help you plan out your degree to make sure you get in the right courses at the right time. I also want to mention that we do have a number of supports available. Sometimes the transition from high school to university can be a bit stressful for people. And we have built in a number of sports and programs here at Mount Allison. It starts during the orientation period with a day of learning to help orient students towards sort of the academic side of university. We then have a science success program, the START program, that helps students adjust in their first year to university. It's a peer mentor-led program, and so other students help guide the first year students through what they need to know to succeed at university. We have all sorts of other support programs, tutorials, various resource centers that are sort of targeted specific. So a reading, writing resource center. We have a math resource center, a physics resource center. If you're struggling with one of your first year science classes, there are people you can go to who will help you with that. These are free resources. We have academic mentors in residences. We have programs through our student services to help students who may be struggling. So there's lots and lots of supports. We also have wellness and mental health supports for students who need it. Many of our student organizations, clubs and societies also offer support to other students. So it's a wonderful way to sort of get what you need from staff members at the university, faculty members, as well as other students. Lots of supports out there. If anyone finds they're struggling, they just have to reach out and ask for some help. I'm going to encourage you to make the most of your degree. One of the things we stress at Mount Allison is that it's not just about your classes. We want you to have a whole, complete experience, and there are lots of options for things that you can do. That's not just coursework. The coursework is excellent and amazing, but there are other things that can help you build a successful time here at Mount A. So we have a number of exchange programs that people can go on, 31 programs in 20 different countries. Great way to broaden your horizons, experience the world while still completing your university degree. Lots of clubs and societies that you can join. There's something for everyone. And if your interest isn't represented, you can start your own club. So there's lots of ways to sort of bring yourself to Mount Allison too. If there's something that you would like to help develop here, you can do a number of research projects. One of the benefits of a small institution like Mount Allison with a very limited graduate program is that our faculty members involve undergraduate students in our research program. So undergraduate students have the opportunity to do hands-on research, real research that's contributing to our science knowledge that could get published or presented at conferences. It's a great learning experience that comes from attending such a small institution like Mount A. And we have a variety of sports teams as well. A range of other activities, dance clubs, music ensembles, theater programs, all sorts of things that you can do and participate in so that you can become an active member of our community. And we really encourage that. It's a great way to sort of come and become part of the community. So I encourage you to do more than just your coursework here, but come and participate fully. As I said, research is a really important thing that experience that we give to our undergraduate students. And there are lots of opportunities to get involved. So I'm just going to take an extra minute to highlight this. We have a lot of research experiences here. Some of them are course-based. So unlike many larger institutions, almost all of our first and second year science courses have labs associated with them. You get to do the things you're learning about. You get that hands-on experience, learning and sort of reinforcing the learning in the classroom. There are a range of summer research opportunities for students to do research in the summer with faculty members, a whole range of disciplines. Some of them are lab-based work, some of them are field studies, so you go out into the world and learn about birds and fish and salamanders and such. They can tell you more about that in a moment. And many students will leave Mount Allison with a peer-reviewed publication. Like, this is a really amazing opportunity and achievement for our undergraduate students. And so there's a nice symbiosis there. Working in the lab, you help the researcher helps the students. It's a great sort of relationship. So I encourage you to sort of think about the research possibilities once you get here and explore all of the opportunities that are available to you. So this is my brief overview of the Faculty of Science. I'm going to go to the last slide and leave this up. Feel free to get in touch with me if you have questions, but I'm going to open the floor and ask our other presenters to come forward now. So we have representatives from the different science departments and programs. And I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and then maybe say something that they think is good or wonderful about Mount Allison.
There's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, this happens. Vicki, shall we start with you?
Okay. I'm Vicki Melly. I'm head of the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. And what was I supposed to talk about? One of my favorite things?
Sure, yeah.
One of my favorite things about Mount A is, I was going to say the labs, but Jennifer mentioned that already. So there is a week, almost every week of class is matched with a week of labs. A lot of large institutions have to sort of go every other week to get all of the students in the lab. And that's kind of consistent through the program. So as a chemist, you get to work in a lab, which I think is pretty important to becoming a chemist. And the other thing I really like, I just think our students are fantastic. I love working with students so closely. I think all of us are here because we're so dedicated and interested in working with students. So that's really the best part about Mount A for me. And I think we have fantastic students, we create fantastic students and scientists, and I like being a part of that. Hi everyone, I'm Grace. I'm a fourth year honors chemistry student under the supervision of Dr. Glenn Breon. I would have to say my favorite memory at Mount A is probably meeting Dr. Breon for the first time. Now, this is in the beginning of my second year, and Dr. Breon teaches the first semester and fall semester intro chemistry course, which is one of our favorite courses here at Mount A. And when I met with him, he actually already knew who I was, which was surprising to me because I'd never been to his office hours. I was always too scared. But him knowing who I was just comes to show how much effort the professors put into having a professor-student relationship. So that was super nice that he could be a
Yeah, so my name's Dave Hornage. I'm a subatomic physicist in the physics department, obviously. One of my favorite things about Mount A, Dr. Holmes has already mentioned this, is the summer research. The physics department's not huge, like most of the departments at Mount A. But we are capable, and we hire students. We all have externally funded research programs, and we hire students every summer to help with our research. I take students to either Germany or North Carolina every summer. We each hire usually between 2 and 6 students, and it's a really valuable experience. I think also not just for the students, but also for the professors. They, our undergrads do a lot of the work that grad students and postdocs do at bigger universities. So there are opportunities that you would have here at Mount Allison that you wouldn't maybe get at other universities. Thanks.
I'm Diana Hamilton. I am the head of the biology department, and we did come up with something they haven't already said.
No, you can just say it.
Okay, well, all right, I'll deviate a little bit. So there's 2 things, actually. One is that I like about this is there's a lot of hands-on opportunities, a lot of experiential learning opportunities that students can get that simply do not happen at larger institutions. And the other thing that I probably enjoy most about this is, as I said, working with our students during the summer and during the term, honor students, independent study students, soon to be honor students. So yeah, and I get, we do lots of fun things, like, I've spent many nights in a tent catching birds with these 2. So, so that is, well, catch the birds, that's what we do. We catch the birds, we bring them into the tent. They don't come to the tent. I'll stop there. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Mackenzie. I'm a 3rd year biology student. Under the supervision of Dr. Hamilton last summer, I think one of my most favorite experiences is just being able to hold the room for the first time. It was really incredible, and I enjoyed my experience so much that I'm pursuing an honors
next year. And so hopefully we can get a peer-reviewed paper out of it. And having your first publication as an undergrad is going to be a great experience if you choose to go down that path. So yeah.
My name is Jordan. I'm fourth year honors student in Josh's lab, doing environmental science is my major. We work with mainly aquatic systems. My research focuses mainly on historical gold mines in Nova Scotia and their impact on the benthic invertebrates that live at the bottom of the lakes. My favorite part about Monet is that I came from a very small town in the Arctic, and coming down to another smaller town, because all my life I was supposed to go to a bigger university, but then I was like, you know what, Monet. So getting close with my honors prof, independent studies supervisor, and then just all the other profs out there that, you know, you might have one or two classes with them, but you get very close with them. It's very nice, very close, tight-knit community.
Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Carrick. I'm a program advisor for environmental science. One of my favorite things about Mount A is some of the upper year courses that we offer where we take students out into the real world. They're often working on projects with stakeholders like Parks Canada at Fundy National Park and some watershed groups in northern New Brunswick. So they're learning that happens both off campus and on campus. What they find, they then communicate to these people. And so it's really powerful learning experiences. They can see what they're doing in the classroom and like its real world implications. And students really shine when given that opportunity. It's very difficult to take 150 students I teach in this room into those situations, but it's often in students in their third and fourth year at this university that get those opportunities.
My name is Shannon. I'm a third year physics student, and I also take math and astronomy courses. And my favorite thing about Mount A is the small class sizes. It's been emphasized a lot, but it's really, really important. At the beginning of my second year, I am in a smaller program for sure, but I was in class sizes of 12 to 15 students, which is really, really rare. And your professors not only know your name, but they know who you are, like they know your personality. So because it's such a small program, I was able to get involved in research in right after my first year, which is really rare.
Hi, my name's Erin. I'm a fourth year psychology student. And my favorite thing about Mount A is, even though it is a very small, small community and small university, there are still tons of options for different courses you can take. Pretty much any interest you have, there's going to be a course or there's going to be a professor that specializes in that interest. So I really I'd love to have the opportunity to take so many different courses with so many different professors, and even being able to take independent studies. Since I did not complete my honors, I've gotten to do research in daycares, which is what I'm interested in. So yeah, I know everyone's already talked about it, but just there's so many opportunities.
My name is Lauren. I'm a fourth year doing a math honors, and I'm also minoring in physics and geography. A lot of folks have talked about research, which is a fabulous thing. So I'm going to take a second and talk about the opportunity to TA, which stands for teaching assistant. I've gotten to TA for math, physics, computer science, data science, and last semester I even did an independent study looking at how introductory computer science is taught, and I'm going to be making some materials that will hopefully be used in teaching that course in the future. So just kind of a cool example of the point that everyone has been making about getting to do really big work by going to a small institution.
My name is Nathan Johnson. I'm currently the head of the Math and Computer Science Department, and I have basically the same favorite thing about Mount A as everyone else, but maybe let's put a little spin on it. So my favorite thing, yes, like it's absolutely that there are all these research opportunities, but also that students are sort of interested and eager enough here to take advantage of the research opportunities and other opportunities. We have these smaller classes, and it really does make students more engaged. Like students ask questions during classes, after classes, they interact with you. And it gives you a chance to get to know them, and they take advantage of summer research opportunities. So you get that interaction and that back and forth, and that's fantastic.
I'm Jennifer Tomes, Psych Department. And so one of the things I like is, again, all of the opportunities, and it's not just the academic opportunities. Most of our classes are scheduled just during the daytime hours. And that's because at night, we are assuming that students will be doing other things, that they will be involved in clubs, that they will be involved in Garnet and Gold, our theater production that gets put on every year, or maybe they'll be in the choral society, or they'll be on a sports team. And so I like that built into our system is the idea that it shouldn't just be all school all the time, that there are other things that you should also do to develop as a wonderful human. And so that's one of the things I like about Mary. So we're going to open the floor if you have any questions. We also have an advisor here with us who can answer some of the other sort of admissions questions or other questions if you have those. Is there anything anyone wanted to know about that you're curious about?
I get started from online. I have 2 students online who are both interested in biochemistry, and they're wondering what are the opportunities within the program and what are the opportunities after the program, and how does Mount A help them connect with those opportunities after graduation from biochemistry.
Vicky, do you want to take that?
Can you tell me that? That's a great question. Okay, the opportunities. So there's currently 3 faculty members that are in biochemistry, that are devoted to the biochemistry program within the department. And there's also associate faculty in other departments that also take students from biochemistry program for honors projects or intensive study. So, externally funded research. So there's, research opportunities there. I believe because many biochemistry students are interested in pursuing med school. I believe there are some, like within the student population, you might know better about this, ways to prepare for the MCAT and get coaching for that sort of thing, and finding out what resources you need to prepare for that properly. Can you add anything? Yeah, so basically, like one thing though is like for the Department of Chem and Biochem, so any opportunities that I've been provided with biochemists are also provided with their respective professors. So I've been able to do an honors thesis, and I've also done an independent study. And I know a few biochemists where if you're in biochemistry, you're taking biology and chemistry courses, right? It makes sense. So some people do their honors thesis in biochemistry, but they'll take an independent study in chemistry because they have like similar interests. So it's basically all the same opportunities as we have each research.
We have a number of these interdisciplinary programs where you sort of combine multiple areas. So biochemistry, chemistry and biology, biopsychology, biology and psychology, data science, which actually is from a multitude of different disciplines. And so one of the ways that science is evolving is that things are getting much more interdisciplinary in nature. And so we are revising our programs to reflect that. So it's not just this is the only thing that you learn. And that's one of the nice things about a liberal arts and sciences school like Mount Allison, is that you're encouraged to take a variety of things and then see the connections between them. So for our interdisciplinary programs, we've mapped out those connections, but there's also the ability to sort of discover the connections between different disciplines as well.
I remembered one last thing.
Okay.
So I think something that makes our biochem program special in particular is that, well, we have a first year biochemistry course that's highly unusual. And we also have 2 experiential lab courses, which are basically, there's no lecture component. It is 5 hours a week in the lab, and that's the course. So those are, pretty special and unusual types of learning course that we have in the program. I just wanted to make sure to mention that.
I also have a comment just in general about opportunities for Mount A students after graduation. I know that we've been harping on this, that the research experience you get here, and if you get a peer-reviewed publication, which is the gold standard, I mean, I have colleagues at bigger universities at different places in Canada and also in the US, and our graduates are sought after because they have research experience they wouldn't have necessarily get at a bigger university. So whenever I go to a conference, people are always like, okay, you have any good students? I need more students. I need, send them to me, please, because they have solid research experience that they're like a year or two ahead of some of their cohort from other bigger universities where they didn't get research.
And in my experience, that is also true for people who go into the workforce as well. So if you go to a government agency or some other agencies in the area, they really like having Mount A students because they have such rich experiences that they can sort of start a little ahead of maybe graduates or students from other programs because they get such good training here. Any other questions?
I have a few more on, but.
Okay.
The opportunity. So the next question online is, would anyone be able to speak on the cognitive science major?
I can. So it's an interdisciplinary program. It's been around for quite a while, so we've had it for like 2 decades. But it's recently been revisited and revised. So you can do a cognitive science degree as a BSc or a BA degree. So a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts. Both options now have an honors option with them as well. And cognitive science is one of the first really interdisciplinary programs that we developed. So it's a unique combination of psychology, computer science, and philosophy. And it looks at the mind, cognitive processes, mental processes from a computational perspective. So think AI, a psychological perspective, and also a philosophical perspective. What is consciousness? Why do we have it? What does it do? And so it brings those various disciplines together to answer or address some of these big questions about cognition and mental processing and thinking, and then how can we apply that in situations like AI situations and whatnot.
This person's asking, so they're graduating high school this June, but they haven't taken chemistry, and they're deciding to do chemistry when they come here in September. So if they haven't taken chemistry in high school, does that affect their BSc or their chemistry career in any way nowadays?
I don't think so, because the way the first year curriculum is designed is under the assumption that students have limited chemistry, because students are coming from all over and all kinds of different high schools. High schools where chemistry may not be available. So no, it shouldn't affect. You should be able to pick up with everyone from day one.
Yes.
I think the exception would be algebra, right? I mean,
That's right, yeah. So like there's a certain level of mathematical maturity expected, like, there are options though. So no calculus knowledge at all is expected coming into our intro math courses. And if you don't have the requisite algebra knowledge, we do have what's called a functions course, which is designed to sort of get people back up to speed.
From an admissions point of view, we don't require a chemistry course if you want to go to BSc, but we do require a math course and also an English course, which is the same for BA or BSc. So if you're planning on going to BSc, we would require English, a math course, and 3 other academics. And that basically depends on which curriculum you did. So I would just encourage you to visit the website and choose the province that you did your high school from, and it should give you the time.
But once you're admitted, the first year courses are designed as introductory courses. And so there's an expectation that you will have a certain level of math ability, numeracy ability, but we will teach you the things you need to know.
I just wanted to add on to the chemistry question. I don't think that's a huge deal to not have chemistry in high school. But one thing is like you had said in the introductory classes, it does overlap with what you would have learned in high school anyway. And another thing is if you have TAs, the teaching assistants, you have tutors, you have profs, you have office hours, and everybody's here to help you, right? So there's many opportunities to seek help if you're.
Yes.
So after 4 years, with this degree, you could go into dentistry or?
You would need another, you could apply to a dentistry program.
Great.
Yeah, you will not graduate from Mount A and be a
For
dentist.
sure.
No.
You could get in, you could go into dentistry.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I would say is a good idea too, if you have a specific program you want to get into after graduating, then make sure you have any courses that they have indicated are necessary for that program, but those are covered in the course of the 4 years.
So usually,
Cousins become dentists.
well, usually what we encourage third and fourth year students is to sort of think about what they're interested in applying to, and even sometimes map out the schools, because, you know, you might say, I'm interested in speech language pathology, which is something that a number of psych students will go on to. But depending on where you want to do that, the requirements in Nova Scotia are different than in Alberta schools. And so you want to make sure that you have taken those courses that will allow you to apply to that program.
Available.
And for the most part, especially for very big things, we make sure that they.
One thing I would suggest though is I think others have highlighted, make sure you think ahead about it, because for example, in biology, we have a number of human physiology oriented courses that a lot of professional health programs expect one to have, but they aren't necessarily all offered every year. Sometimes we alternate them, so people should be aware. It's fine, you can take them in third or fourth year, so you can get them, but you can't just like at fourth year realize that you are missing some courses and expect them automatically to be offered. So it's a matter of just thinking ahead a little bit, as the others said.
So how far were your syllabus spoiled?
Our syllabus is only year by year, but there are, if you consult with the relevant department, there are courses that we know are always offered, and there are courses that are maybe usually the the fourth year smaller ones that often get rotated.
Okay.
But you have to just, you think at the end of second year, I would say.
Every program has a program advisor, so if you are suddenly in a situation where you don't know about anything, you can always go to the program advisor, and they have a wealth of knowledge about all the courses that are offered. So if you feel like you're missing something, or if you don't know when to take something, there's someone who's an expert at telling you when you should do it.
And who would know what many of the common career paths or further training, graduate training programs are. So I'm sure, like Josh, you know what to tell people to take for if you want to go here or you want to go here. Or and so that's one of the nice things is we do have academic advisors that are across the university, but then each program also has their specialized advisor who can go beyond just here is this course, but here is part of this discipline, and think about this if you want to do this career path. Take this
and I can say that some of the really absolutely required ones for the medical fields, like human physiology, human anatomy, we offer every year. We know that.
Yes.
We deal with it.
Everyone, there's always going to be someone applying to medicine.
Yeah. Yeah. So but in circumstances like that where it's clear you need these sources, they're going to be there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, just to add on the part like degree planning, I did my BSc in psychology just last year. I graduated. And in my second year, I actually decided to change my major to psychology. And the first thing I did was book an appointment with Dr. Thomas here. And we had a meeting where we went on each course that Mount offers and what I should take in my second year, third year, fourth year in order for me to graduate on time. So thank you, Dr. Thomas. And also there's a thing called academic calendar online. So if you go online and if you just Google academic calendar Mount Allison University, if you open the most recent one, it should list all the courses in the department that are being offered throughout 4 years. So from first year to all the way up to 4 years. And it also has some form of course description, a very brief one. I thought it helped me a lot when I was planning my degree, and just to think ahead of time which courses I'm interested in and which courses move forward. So those are two things I was really stand by.
I just want to follow up on the idea that you can switch what you want to do. We have a lot of students who come in thinking I'm gonna do biology. And then they get here and they're like, maybe not biology. And there is, sorry. Chemistry, psychology, whatever. And you get here and you're like, what is this data science thing? This is cool. You know, and you have that opportunity to switch. So don't come thinking, I have made my path, this is it, there is no flexibility. There's a ton of flexibility. You can come here and you will discover things that you didn't know were options for you. And you will have the opportunity to say, I would like to do more of that. And you can do that. And so there is some ability, especially in the first year or two, to sort of say, I'm going to change my path a little bit. I'd like to do this other thing.
Or land in interdisciplinary.
Or land in interdisciplinary. There you go. I love both of these things. Biopsych it is.
I'm actually really curious about the support for interdisciplinary studies. So for example, a student who is interested in artificial intelligence and biology or environmental sciences, are those things that are already coming together here at Mount
Cognitive science would be the interdisciplinary AI with the psychological, biological part. So you would get some neuropsych in there, which is some like brain stuff. I don't know, there is biology per se, AI, and I can't remember what the other one was.
I can talk a little bit because my research is in mathematical biology. So I'm taking a mathematics degree, but the research that I'm doing right now is in mathematical epidemiology, which is studying public health. Right now, I'm looking at the Mpox outbreak that began in May and has been continuing. And that is an area that I had no idea existed before coming to Mount A and trying out research and meeting my prof, Dr. Betty, who's my honor supervisor. And so even if something doesn't necessarily exist right now as a kind of headline for a degree, you can definitely still find your avenues. And I'm going off in the fall to do a master's, and my master's is going to involve AI. So you can definitely get all of the background information that you need. And I would recommend with that, just take, you know, the breadth of courses that you will end up taking in your first year anyway. And you'll kind of find within a discipline that interdisciplinary thing that you may be looking for. Like I had a friend who started off in a biochemistry degree, fell in love with the intro computer science class, and is now doing a math computer science double honors with a biochemistry minor.
That's a lot of work.
I have one more question online. They just want to know more about the aviation program.
So the BSc Aviation program is quite a unique program. It allows you to get a Bachelor of Science undergraduate degree and also a pilot's license. And so students will come to Mount A. They do the first year at Mount A courses, science courses. So they will take many of the intro science courses. Often they will take environmental science courses as well. And then after they've accumulated some Mount A credits, they do their flight training in association with the Moncton Flight College. And so there's this coordination between learning to fly and become a pilot and making sure that you have that undergraduate degree as well. So it's a great option because it gives you a very applied thing at the end. You have a degree, a university degree, and you have those pilot credentials. So it's a great option for students who are interested in that. We also have it associated with the commerce degree, so you can get a commerce degree, a business degree, and also the flight credentials.
And the aviation students sometimes take you flying with them, and it's very fun.
Yes.
While we're on the aviation topic, I just got another question asking, can you take aviation as a minor?
No. It's only available as in the BSc as a major. It's a lot of training to get the pilot credentials. You can't do it as the minor. there's quite a coordinated program because you have to do some here and then some there. Anything else? Any other questions? Well, we can finish a little bit early, and if you have any questions, anything you'd like to chat to us or individuals up here about one-on-one, feel free to come on up and talk to us. All right, thank you very much. I hope you have a great weekend, and if you travel, please travel.